Spider-Man No Way Home is right around the corner. Well, at least we hope it's right around the corner. We just don't know if that's a really, really close corner or maybe a little farther away corner. And it's building up to be one of the biggest MCU releases ever. People are hyped to see the multiverse absolutely explode and possibly see cinematic universes collide. Well, today, everybody, welcome to the Chaos Multiverse. Jimmy or Chaos. I want to dive into 10 of my main predictions for Spider-Man No Way Home. And if you want, you guys can bookmark this video, come back in a few months, and see if I got any of them correct at all. You can also drop your own predictions in the comments. Drop a like, everybody. Make sure you have those notifications on. Let me know what you think is going to happen in Spider-Man 3. And at number 10 today, Toby Maguire will play a main role. Let's get the obvious one out of the way. Now, Spider-Man, it's diving into the multiverse, and the massive success of Sony's Into the Spider-Verse a few years ago, fans have been speculating that the previous Spider-Man actors will appear in Spider-Man No Way Home. Well, we pretty much know it's happening. Toby's been quiet on the matter, but a while back it was revealed that some of Tobey Maguire's older Spider-Man voice dubbers had signed on to the project. Now, for those that don't know, Tobey Maguire has a handful of voice actors during the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, and these men would re-record his Peter Parker dialogue for the non-English releases of the movie. Well, we know at least two of these re-recorders have signed on for No Way Home. Actually, I should give you guys a spoiler alert right now. Here it is. I apologize. And that seems to reinforce the rumors that Tobey Maguire is there as well. Now, I think it's very likely we will see a similar setup as Into the Spider-Verse, where Tom Holland enters the multiverse and meets Tobey Maguire, who acts as sort of a older mentor to the younger Spidey. But speaking of other Spideys, but before we segue into number 9, we're giving away a PlayStation 5, guys. Everybody on the channel who subscribed is entered. All you have to do is drop a like on any video, leave a comment who your favorite Marvel character is, and include your Twitter handle. We'll pick a new winner every single month. At number 9, Andrew Garfield will play a minor role. Now, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man wasn't as well received by fans, but honestly, I think he gets too much flack. He didn't exactly look like Peter Parker, but his performance was fantastic, and his chemistry with Gwen Stacy was top-notch. Now, due to Andrew's Spider-Man movies not being as popular, I don't think he's going to play as major of a role in No Way Home, but I think he will appear. Now, there's some other rumors regarding Andrew that we'll discuss a little later in the video, but I think he's going to be there. Tobey Maguire, I feel, will play a larger role than Andrew, but I'm almost positive they'll both be in the movie. Next up is Doctor Strange will enhance Spidey's suit. So a while back, a few toys leaked showing off Spidey's new black suit, or black and gold trim, and it also showed him using some kind of superpowers in the chest and the webbing. Now, the exact abilities of his new integrated suit are unknown, but a lot of those effects look similar to what Doctor Strange does. We also know for certain that the new movie will dive into the multiverse, and we know Doctor Strange is going to be a main character in the MCU moving forward, and this movie. I think he's going to enhance Spidey's suit somehow and make him more equipped for navigating new universes, new timelines. I'm not a huge fan of Spidey's more fantastical and technical suit in the MCU, but if it gets us further into the multiverse, I'm down for it. This next one's been around for a while. Jamie Foxx will return as Electro. Now, it started out as a rumor, but then you guys already know the story with Jamie, and he played Electro in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In the movie, it didn't get the best reviews, but the action sequences with Electro, they were really good. His powers were pretty intimidating, and the action sequences were like panels being ripped right out of the pages of a comic book. Now, a while back, various leaks suggested that Jamie Foxx would return as Electro in Spider-Man 3, and the leaks were so credible that he's now officially on the Wikipedia and the IMDb pages for the movie. Now, this is not officially confirmed by Marvel, but he's there. Even if you hated The Amazing Spider-Man 2, you have to admit, Electro was a pretty good villain, and it would be awesome to see him return, especially if he's part of the Sinister Six. Speaking of villains and the Sinister Six, at number 6, Mysterio will return somehow. Now, Mysterio made a huge impact on the MCU. He wasn't on the screen as long as other villains were, but he put a massive dent in the world's trust in heroes. He even revealed Spider-Man's secret identity. But remember, Mysterio is the master of illusion. He fooled everybody in the theater throughout Spider-Man 2, including Peter Parker. So let me ask you this. Do you really think he's dead? Do you really think Mysterio didn't plan ahead for this? Plus, in the last couple weeks, we've seen rumors popping up that Mysterio will return in Spider-Man No Way Home, and I believe it. There's no way Mysterio is gone, and since we have no idea who the main villain is for the movie, or if it's going to be multi-villains, we do have ideas. I think there's a good chance that Mysterio is part of it. Think about it. The movie comes out in a few months, and we don't know exactly who the villains are for sure. Okay, all right, and we got the t-shirt leaks on Amazon with We Believe Mysterio. Yeah. At number 5 today, Alfred Molina will return as Doc Ock, or Dr. Octopus. So he's already done his best to distance himself from the rumors, but he kind of let the cat out of the bag. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 is often considered the best Spidey movie ever made. Much of that praise comes from Alfred Molina's portrayal of Doc Ock. Now, last year, a few rumors started going around that Molina would be returning as Doc Ock, and he denies those rumors, but the leaks have come out and suggest he is indeed part of the movie. Now, much like Jamie Foxx, they kind of let the cat out of the bag themselves. The leaks have been considered credible enough to get him on the movie's IMDb and Wikipedia page. So once again, even though it's not officially Marvel confirmed, he's going to play a major villain in this movie. And again, I'll believe it right when I see it, but I'm almost positive that Tom Holland's Spider-Man will be coming face-to-face with Alfred Molina's Doc Ock in this movie. At number 4, it will tease a Venom crossover. Now, Sony currently has 2 different Spider-Man franchises. They have Spidey himself in the MCU, and then they have the whole Venom universe going on somewhere else. As of right now, the heads of both Sony and Marvel have refused to rule out the possibility of a crossover between the 2 universes, but with a new Venom movie coming soon and the multiverse becoming a major topic in the MCU, this is the time. Come on, set up a collision course between Tom Holland and Tom Hardy. Do I think Venom will appear in Spider-Man No Way Home? No. I think that would be a little too much for one movie. But do I think Spider-Man No Way Home will set up a possible crossover? Absolutely. The Venom movie did really well at the box office, and with a sequel right around the corner, I think hype for both Spidey properties is high. Sony and Marvel know how much money there could be for a Venom versus Spider-Man movie, and if Venom doesn't appear in Spider-Man No Way Home, I think it's inevitable they'll set it up for the future. We could possibly get a post-credit scene on either movie setting it up. At number 3 today, Tom Holland's Spidey is going to be replaced. Now, this is one I do not want to happen, but with the writing on the wall, I don't know. In case you didn't know, Tom Holland is currently not signed on for more solo Spider-Man movies. Zendaya also stated recently in interviews she doesn't know if she's going to be returning to the MCU. Now, No Way Home very well may be the last Spidey movie with Tom Holland in the spotlight. Now, do I think Tom Holland is done with the MCU? No. Do I think Tom Holland's Spidey is going to be the main one going forward? I don't know. I think there's a good chance that a new Spidey takes the spotlight for the MCU and Tom Holland will be the background character, Miles Morales. The MCU is going to be exploring multiverse going forward. If Tom Holland hasn't signed on for more movies of his own, well, that would be the door opening for Miles. Again, I don't really want this to happen per se, but when you look at the business side of things and the way the actor contracts work in 2021, there's a decent chance that Tom Holland's last big outing as Spider-Man could be this movie. At number 2, this movie will set up the X-Men. Now, it's common knowledge at this point that the X-Men are coming to the MCU. I mean, we already have some bits and pieces of Deadpool in the MCU, but the rest are still somewhat unknown. Spider-Man has quite a few run-ins with the X-Men throughout his comic history, and since Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be about multiverses and setting up the future of the MCU, there's a shot we at least get some references to X-Men and the Fantastic Four. The X-Men have already been teased a couple times in recent MCU movies and shows, but I think Spider-Man 3 could be the first time they're explicitly referenced or established in the universe. I really have no idea how they would do that, but I'm pretty positive the X-Men are going to be referenced in this movie in one way or another. And at number 1 today, like I just said, it will set up the Fantastic Four. For those who are very well versed in comics, you know Spider-Man has a lot of run-ins with the Fantastic Four. There's even been a few story arcs where Peter tries to make them the Fantastic Five with his help. Now, we know the Fantastic Four are being added to the MCU, and we know Spidey has a history with them in the comics. We also know that Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be a pivotal movie in terms of setting up the future of the MCU. I think there's a very probable chance that the X-Men are slightly teased in the movie, but the Fantastic Four are heavily teased. After all, Fantastic Four reportedly being brought in the MCU much sooner than the X-Men aside from Deadpool, so it would make sense for Spider-Man No Way Home to usher them in. Maybe it's a cameo. Maybe it's some dialogue. Heck, maybe Reed Richards might even make an appearance. But mark my words, I think the Fantastic Four will be referenced in some way in this movie. And there you have it. Those are my top 10 predictions for Spider-Man No Way Home. Let's come back in a few months and see if we got any of them right. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.